talking about people pleasing, and we are coming against people pleasing in 2019. Okay, that is exactly what we're going to be doing. So when I entered this year, and I think everybody can probably say, hey, Virginia, how you doing? Rodney, how you doing there? I think everybody at some point probably looked at the year of 2018 and they were like, 2018 did not feel the best, right? 2018 was a really difficult year, but you might have said that about 2017, 2016, right? 2015. At some point, somewhere in a year, it's not always the best thing. Now, this is what I do want to let you know is that when I was thinking about being a people pleaser, I had to really get real with myself last year. And because I told God, I said, by the time this year is out, I want to be healed and whole. That is what I told God. I said, I need to be healed and whole. And that is what I want from my life. And in doing that, God, I gave him the space to begin spiritually, removing things from me. Like, I allowed him to perform surgery on me spiritually. All those things that I'd allowed in my life that made me become who I was today, I said, God, I need you to cut that stuff out, because I needed to stop repeating cycles. I needed to stop connecting to things. I needed to stop those things. I said, okay, God, I need to be healed and whole. Anybody else ever felt like that? Like, okay, I'm at the end of my rope. Lord, I'm tired of this. I need to be healed. And so that is what I said to God. And one of the things that he revealed to me is that I'm a people pleaser, right? This is something I've known about myself probably forever. I've known this about myself forever, but I finally got real with myself and I said, okay, Tamika, you're a people pleaser, to the point where it's almost like an addiction, right? You know, I discovered that that's what it was. It felt like an addiction for me, right? And so I really started trying to find out what made me become this way. How did I really know that this is who I was, right? Because I kind of thought to myself, girl, you're a people pleaser. And I'm going to tell you something. The greatest fear I think that any of us can live in is the fear that we don't receive approval from other people. So if you are a people pleaser, that is going to be your vice, right? Rejection is in the back room. It is literally in the background of people pleasing, right? If you're a true people pleaser, rejection is your thing that will set you off. Rejection will make you walk away from relationships when, honestly, the person may not have even been upset with you, right? It'll make you enter into relationships. My God, I've done it. Right? More times than I can count, right? Leave one relationship, jump into another one. Leave that one, jump into another one. This one made me feel bad about myself. This person made me feel good about that part. That person made me feel bad about this part. Somebody else made me feel great about this part. Some people hop from church to church to church to church, right? Because they're looking for affirmation and approval from people. This church didn't give it to me. I'm going to go join the usher board over here. The usher board didn't give it to me. I'm going to go over here and become a deacon. These people didn't do it. I'm about to go and start my own church, right? Like, we see this stuff all over the place, right? You start a business. This client hated my work, even though you had 25 clients who loved it. This client hates my work. I'm going to go start a whole new business because all of a sudden now you think you suck, right? Like, this stuff will plague us and follow us all over the place. So we're coming against people pleasing, and we're going to do a people pleaser detox, right? So today I'm going to talk to you about 5 signs that you might be a people pleaser. I actually have a list of 10 so far, but today we're going to tackle 5, and my goal is to come on here every day, and we are going to cut out people pleasing from our lives. We're going to detox ourselves from the need to be accepted by people, places, things. We're coming against it right now. We are coming against it, okay? So let me just tell you guys this very quickly. April 5th and 6th, I'm going to be hosting my very first women's conference called She Wins. I'm only opening this up to 40 women, right? So if this is something that you're interested in, go to shewinsconference.com, shewinsconference.com. We got some really amazing speakers coming from all over the place. And I'm telling you, if you want to get your life back, if you are the type of woman who says, I need to be rejuvenated, restored, I need all these things in my life, you're going to want to be at the She Wins conference. You're definitely going to want to do that. But again, I'm only opening it up to 40 people because I want this to be a retreat style conference. Okay, so let's just jump into the nitty gritty of it. You guys know Tamika always has her notes, right? I always have my notes. Hey Nicole, how you doing? Hey Ashani, how you doing? I see so many people joining me. Shane, Scott, Bobby, Charmaine, Jay, how you guys doing? Vaughn, the highly favored one. Let me see, Shakita, thank you guys so much for joining me. If you are just joining me, we are breaking the habit, the spirit, the need to be a people pleaser. That's what we're doing. So it's called the People Pleaser Detox, right? Oh, you're awesome, Ashani. Thank you so much. The People Pleaser Detox. For those in Facebook land, Ashani said, anything you do is fire. This sounds exciting. Listen, if you guys want to learn how to make money online with your social media and you're a creative, like a dancer or what have you, make sure you follow Ashani and Fuko Dance. She is dope. To the 10th degree. Okay, so here we go. The first sign that you might be a people pleaser is you can't say no. How many of you guys get heart palpitations when you think about saying no? What? Like, I used to get sick in my stomach when I knew when I wanted to say no, right? You know, because here's the thing. Here's the thing about this. Hi, Auntie LaTanya. Here's the thing. Whether you say yes or you say no, there is a follow through. Okay? So if you say yes, you're going to have to do it. Or you might fake an illness or something. If you say no, what's the risk? The risk is what? Maybe the person's going to be angry with you, right? Or they're going to find somebody else to do it. What is it going to be? Okay, but I'm gonna tell you something. You're never gonna reach your goals if you can't speak up for yourself. So if you're sitting there, and you're like, man, I don't like saying no. This is what's gonna happen here. The people pleaser detox is only gonna work if you're honest with yourself. So I'm gonna tell you that right now. I fought it all year. I fought it all last year, and I finally said, okay, God, I give up. I give up. I cannot do it. I cannot do it. Okay. So again, Ashani says, I love the word no. No, 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 no. Absolutely. Absolutely. So if you find yourself having difficulty saying no, you might be a people pleaser. And just remember, whether you say no, whether you say yes, whether you say maybe, a follow through is required. So if you say yes, you're going to have to do it, or you're going to have to lie to get out of it. Right? Or you will commit yourself to something else because we do it so we can get out of the thing we didn't want to do. Okay? If you said maybe, all you've done is delayed the need to give an answer. And then if you say no, now you might actually have peace of mind, maybe, right? Or are you going to find yourself stressed out because you said no and people might be upset? Which leads me to this. Number 2. You feel burdened by the things that you have to do, right? So here's the thing. If you're sitting there, you're like, man, I don't have any problem saying no. I don't have any problem saying no. But then when you say yes, you feel a burden because you have to do something. I'm going to tell you what. It used to wear me out because I would always be saying yes to something when I knew I really didn't want to say yes, right? I didn't want to say yes at all. I did not want to say yes. I would feel so burdened by it. I would have a nasty attitude. I don't care who it was for. It could have been for the church. It could have been for my grandmama at the time. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. You guys already know. Black families, you don't say no to grandma. But I'm just saying, it could have been anybody, right? Somebody I highly respected, somebody I loathed. I don't care who it was. If I said yes, and most of the times I would say yes, and then I would be angry. I would take on clients for way less than what I deserved because I did not like confrontation and I didn't like conflict and I didn't want people to be mad at me or I didn't want people to walk away and say something bad about me. And so I would never say no, but I would be heated the whole time I was doing it, and I would not give my all to it. If that is you, you might be a people pleaser. You're afraid to say no. You don't like saying no. And 2, you feel burdened. Like it's a burden. What is a burden? A burden is a weight. So if you find yourself saying yes and your yes becomes a weight, then you might be a people pleaser. You might be a people pleaser if you feel uncomfortable if somebody is angry with you. Okay, so listen, nobody likes to walk around and everybody be mad at them. I mean, I can think about somebody, right now who's in high office who seems to not care, whether people are angry or not. People are literally, suffering at the hands of this person, right? But you feel uncomfortable if somebody is angry with you. Has that ever been you? Hi there, Pastor Kimberly. How are you doing? Ashani says, Ashani gave us, she said, it's easier to say no first and then go back and change it to a yes. But if you say yes first, changing to a no, it's not. It really isn't a good look. She said it's not a good look. Thank you, Mystique. Mystique says this is so good. Well, amen. I thank you guys for the feedback. Absolutely, right? So again, if you feel uncomfortable that somebody is angry with you, yeah, you might be a people pleaser. People are not going to be happy with you all the time. They're just not. And if you're in ministry, if you're in business of any kind, like, listen, sometimes, especially those of us that are in business, sometimes we forget that there is a ministry side to it as well. It doesn't mean that you're, opening up a church just because you want to make money. Some people do that. And if that's you, I want you to pray for yourself. But for those who are really in ministry for the right reasons, right? For the right reasons, there is a business side to everything that we do. Yeah, there's a business side to everything that we do. And everybody is not going to be happy with you. Why? Because especially if you have been put in ministry. To me, this is what I always remember, that the greatest commission that comes from God is that we are supposed to go into all of the world and to preach the gospel and to bring people to Christ. That is what we're supposed to do. So if you do that, you're dealing with different opinions. You're dealing with people who feel like they know the right thing to do. We're dealing with people who feel like you don't know what your call is. Right? If you are in business, you're going to be dealing with people who don't understand your vision. First of all, they're not supposed to understand your vision because God gave it to you. Right? And sometimes we have too many people in our circle. The world tells us that we're supposed to have this huge tribe, right? Well, first of all, your tribe is not really the ones who put money in your pocket in the first place. Your tribe are usually the ones that will stand back and they cheerlead for you and they're excited and they're rah, 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 this is really great what you're doing. But they're not the ones that are lacing your pockets necessarily, right? So you don't necessarily need a whole tribe of people to be successful. When you have a whole entire tribe, it's too many people to please. It's too many people giving you their opinion. You need 3 people. You need a pusher who is going to push you into your destiny, right? You need somebody who's going to pull you. So when you start doubting yourself, when you have somebody that comes to you and says, I think that you should do it this way, you need somebody that's going to pull you when you are in doubt. And you need somebody that's willing to partner with you. And that person that's a partner, they're going to shield you from all the people that feel like you should be pleasing them, right? They're going to shield you from the darts. So if you are finding that you feel uncomfortable because somebody is angry with you, honey, you are a people pleaser because somebody's going to be angry with you. Here's the great thing. It doesn't stay around forever. People aren't mad forever and they will get over it. And guess what? You're going to still sleep at night, honey. I found out when I started telling people no, I went to sleep and I didn't have any problems. I went to sleep, honey. I slept well. And if they were mad, I don't care because I slept well, boo. I got my little Fitbit on, and it told me I got 8 hours of sleep, and I said, high five, Jesus, for my 8 hours of sleep, okay? So if you are afraid of making somebody angry, you need to reevaluate that, okay? The fourth thing, you are a people pleaser if you need praise to feel good, okay? You're a people pleaser if you need praise to feel good. Facebook. You are a people pleaser if you need praise to feel good. Be honest with yourself. Do you need it? Y'all don't understand. I needed it. I lived for the praise. I would do things in church. Y'all, I would be practically doing acrobatics. Like, here's the thing about when you are a people pleaser, you are the best faker. If you're on here and you're like, man, I'm not a good actor. I'm not a good actress. Yes, baby, you are. You know why? Because you've got every emotion that's needed. Because when somebody wants you to be angry, you know how to be angry. When somebody wants you to be happy and excited, you know how to do that too. When you need to be sad and make yourself cry, you know how to do all that stuff too. Guess what? When you're a people pleaser, you are the best faker. You fake it so well that you fake it for yourself. You fake it so well that you stand in the middle of church on a Sunday morning and you shout even when you know you don't feel it. You shout because the music is good. You shout because you see the musicians getting sweaty and hot up there. You see the drummer up there going crazy, and you fake it even for yourself. And then all of a sudden you feel like you got your deliverance. Why? Because you've been faking it for yourself. Well, the great thing about the God that we serve is that he knows that even though we might fake it, he knows we still need deliverance. And the beautiful thing is that he is still there for us. And I love the fact that God will shield us from ourselves. Thank God that he comes and he blocks all the people that would use us because we're people pleasers, right? And I know you might be sitting on here being like, Tamika, I have allowed so many people to use me because, listen, I have done the same thing. I've allowed myself to be used on so many different levels, right? Before I was really in the church, and I can't even tell you, even being in the church, because you guys know I am very transparent, right? Even when I was in the church, I've allowed my body to be used. I have given money away. I have gone completely broke. I have depleted my entire bank account because I enjoyed the attention. I enjoyed the approval because I hated rejection, right? I have allowed myself to be used. When you're a people pleaser, this is what you allow. You know, because there comes a point where you just got to stand for yourself and say, okay, this is just not right. I don't like this. I don't like how it feels. Right? Relationships, friendships. I've had friends steal ideas from me and go and make thousands of dollars off of my ideas. And I'm sitting up in their conference, working the conference, and they gave me $50 for my time. Hello, you got the idea from me, boo. And I didn't say a word. Why? Because I was afraid of somebody being angry with me. Because even though I knew they took the idea from me, started multiple businesses, launched conferences that I knew God told me to launch. But because I was afraid that people wouldn't come for me, right? Even though God gave it to me. Because I was afraid of that, I told somebody else who then had the money and the resources to do it. And they did it and then hired me to do it for $50. Because I needed the praise to feel good. It felt good when I would teach a choreography class for under what I was worth. And then these people would take my same choreography and go and make hundreds of dollars off my choreography. What? Come on. It's time to stand up for ourselves. It's time to stand up for ourselves, right? Right. Finally, the fifth thing for today, you know you're a people pleaser if you pretend to agree with everyone. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm one of those people. I never thought that I was that person. I have always prided myself on having my own mind, on being a leader, right? I've always taken great pride in that. But you know, there's a difference between listening politely to somebody, listening to their opinions, even if you disagree. Because honestly, this is what we're taught to do. That's actually a good social skill, right? It's a good social skill to be able to listen and let people talk, even if you disagree, because sometimes you really don't have to open your mouth, because I will pick and choose my battles, right? But if you pretend to agree, because the person's in the room, you value who they are, right? And you're pretending to agree. You pretend like you're okay with how they handle the situation. This is why I tell people all the time, I'm like, if you really don't want my opinion, do not ask me for it. Don't even tell me. Because somebody might say to me, well, Tamika, what do you think? And I'm like, nah, you're wrong. You know, like now I'm like, no, I think you're wrong for that. Why? Because I'm no longer afraid of people being mad at me. Can I be honest with you? Sometimes I don't even care if people are mad at me. Why? Because it's one less person to talk to on the phone. Don't you guys get tired of people calling you all the time with a whole bunch of mess, or they have a whole bunch of I wants, I needs, you know? Nicole said, yes, give me my paper. Honey, give me my stuff. Give me my stuff back. You know what I mean, right? So let's go through these very quickly, okay? And again, if you're just joining me, we are launching the People Pleaser Detox, right? Yeah, the People Pleaser Detox. That's what this is for this year, right? So I'm going to have a series. It's going to last until God says it's over. And we're going to be combating the need to please other people. This is what I need you to understand. What I realized for myself is, and I actually prayed and I said to God, I said, Lord, I apologize because I have allowed myself to be used. Hey, Jermaine, how you doing? I've allowed myself to be used. I've allowed my body to be used, right? I've done that. I have freely given it away. Because I just wanted the attention from somebody, right? I have given my talents away, where the person would come to me, would want something for free, and turn around and go pay somebody $500 for the same exact work I did. And guess what, y'all? What would they do? They always loop back around. People who know that you have a skill set, they don't want to pay you for it. People that you know, they don't want to pay you for it. They don't want to pay you for your skill. And so what I stopped doing, I'm okay with telling my friends, that's going to cost you, boo. I don't do that for free. No, I don't have time to do that, right? And it was hard at first, but I did learn how to say no. And no is a very powerful word. It's a powerful word, and it keeps you stress-free. It keeps you off of medication at night. Agent May says, yes, you have. Yes, I have. I have learned how to say no. I've absolutely learned how to say no. And it helps me sleep at night. Because if you're a people pleaser, when you say yes and you don't want to do it, you will literally sit around all night long lamenting about the fact that you have to do it. And then you're angry with yourself because you didn't say no. You're angry with the person because you're like, they shouldn't have taken advantage of me like that. Well, no, they shouldn't, but people do what you allow them to do. Right? They really do. I don't care who they are. This could be your cousin, your brother, your mother, your daddy, your puppy. Well, you know, the puppy needs you. But I'm just saying, your children, people do what you allow them to do. I mean, and a dog is not a person. But I treat my dog like she's a person. Okay. All right. I digress. Okay. So number one, you're a people pleaser if you can't say no. You can't say no. You can't say no. Why? Because number two, you feel burdened by the things you have to do. Briggy Briggs says, I lamented for years. Absolutely. When it's something you don't want to do, I mean, like, lamenting is beyond being upset. When you lament, it will make you sick. You literally will make yourself sick because it's not what you're supposed to do, right? Right, okay? So again, you can't say no because you feel burdened by the things that you have to do. You feel burdened by the things that you have to do. Why? Because you feel uncomfortable with people being angry with you. Stop being afraid of that. Who cares? You will get over it. Don't you get over it when people are mad at you? Don't you get over it? Either you get over it or you don't talk to them anymore. And quite frankly, at this, I'm in a new seasoning. Look, I'm not even in a new season. It's a new seasoning around here, honey. I'm a whole new flavor. So people who knew me 2 years ago, they come back, they're like, yo, what is up with Tamika, honey? Baby, it's a new seasoning. She's a whole new flavor. She has detoxed herself from you, right? She's been detoxed. I'm not addicted to the sweetness that comes from being from receiving approval from you anymore. I don't need it. So I'm gonna tell you no, and I don't care if you get mad about it. You will get over it. How you doing, Cyrus Webb? How you doing? Thank you so much for joining my live. Right? So you feel uncomfortable if people or if somebody is angry with you. Why? Because you need praise to feel good. Be honest with yourself. Do you need praise to feel good? Especially those of us in the church. Right? I was doing stuff for the church, killing myself, spending money that I did not have in the church, spending tons and tons of money in the church, driving up and down the highway, keeping my kids out 10, 11 o'clock at night, right? And then when I was in need, people told me to pray about it. Woo, honey. But I needed the praise to feel good. And so then when it didn't happen, I was angry about it. Honey, I was angry. And I didn't go to church for like 4 weeks. Honey, I'm not doing nothing for you then, right? Well, guess what? Nobody's been hurt more by the church than God. Church hurt is real, but God's been hurt more than we have, and he shows up for us every single day. So isn't that a beautiful thing? He shows up for us every single day. So if you find that you need praise to feel good, you need to shift that. Because there are going to be so many times that you need to affirm yourself. There are some people that you're going to come in contact with. They are never going to be happy with anything that you do. Nothing that you do, nothing that you say is ever going to be sufficient. So why are you running around like a puppet for people who could care less? You're staying up late at night trying to get things done in their sleep. They're spending time with their spouse and their special ones and their children. And you've pushed everybody on the back burner. The people that matter, the people who love you whether you have money or not, the people who love you whether or not you have a skill set, the people who love you whether or not you can do a riff or a run, the people who love you or not whether you can come and speak for free, the people who love you or not whether you pay to go to their conference or you buy a product for them. We push them on the back burner for people who do not care. And sometimes that's hurtful. Thank you guys so much for the hearts and stuff. It looks like sweet tarts on the screen, and I love it, right? Right? The things we do for approval, oh my God. And you need praise to feel good because you pretend to agree with everybody because you need all of those things. Bria Briggs says, tore a hole in my marriage. Absolutely. You know, when we are trying to please other people, sometimes we don't mean to do it, but we tend to neglect the people, the places, the things that we need to, you know, pay attention to. And sometimes those things definitely happen. So this is the verse that I want to leave you guys with on today, because tomorrow I'm going to come back with 5 more signs that you might be a people pleaser, because we are definitely we're combating all of that. We're combating all of that. So Psalms 29 and 25 says, the fear of human opinion disables. Trusting in God protects you from that. Ooh, right? So if you find yourself, you don't want to say no, you're burdened by the stuff you have to do, you're uncomfortable when somebody is angry with you, you need praise to feel good, you pretend to agree with everybody. Psalms 29 and 25, and this is in the Message Bible. God, I love the Bible. It's so good. It's so good. Psalms 29 and 25 says, the fear of human opinion disables. When you are so struck by what other people need to do, if you are struck by needing to be fed by the affirmation and the opinion of other people, the word tells us it disables us. It is crippling, right? It cripples us. But trusting in God protects you from that. So if God gives you the peace to say no, because I'm going to tell you something. Thank you, Pastor Kim, for that. Somebody throw up Psalms 29 and 25 over here on Instagram for me so that people can read it. Psalms 29, 25, and I came from the Message Bible. I'm reading it again. The fear of human opinion disables. It will cripple you. Okay, it will break you down at the knees, right? And we literally need every single limb in order to be able to operate properly, right? Right? The fear of human opinion disables, but trusting in God protects you from that. So what does that mean? Thank you so much. I think that's Tyler. Thank you so much. Talia, I'm so sorry if I said your name wrong, sweetie. I apologize for that, but thank you guys so much. Thank you, Briggy Brig, for putting that up there for me. What does that mean for us? That means that humans are going to have opinion. They're going to have opinion. You can't get away from it. And if God has put a calling on your life, and you know you've been called, because people pleasers, I believe it, y'all, with everything in my heart. The people pleaser is the creative person, right? Is the creative person. So the person who is creative, the person who God has given you a very unique calling, and you're called to something when you can't sleep at night because that thing that you're passionate about is always rattling in your mind, right? So whatever God has called you to do, people are going to have an opinion about it, because why? It puts you in front of other people. So anytime you're in front of other people, you're going to be judged. But guess what? Psalms 29 and 25 lets us know that trusting in God protects us from all human opinion. Who cares what they think at the end of the day? If you care too much about what people think, you need to reevaluate whether or not you are the one to accept the call that God put on your life. Did he make a mistake? No, he didn't. Did he make a mistake? He didn't make a mistake. You've been assigned for something great. So stop people pleasing so that you can begin to fulfill your purpose. Right? So stop people pleasing so you can pursue purpose. Ooh, honey, that is a good one right there. Stop people pleasing so you can pursue purpose. Listen, that's all that I got for you guys on today. Thank you guys so much for connecting with me. If this is going to help somebody, share it out, right? If this is your first time connecting with me and you don't follow me, please follow me here on Instagram. Follow me here on Facebook, right? Sign up for my notifications, because I'm planning to go live every day. And I usually do it at 3 o'clock because it's when I get my children from school. And it's the best time for me, okay? So listen, remember, I love you. You were created to make God famous. You guys have a blessed one. Let me end it over there.